morning to everyone. I'm so happy being a part of this day, and you really don't know how much it means to me, even on an Independence Day, that too. And it's always special for us. It's an Independence Day, and it's a special feeling that all of us would have as citizens of India. And this day is something for me personally I could cherish more, because I can all the years, any year I could take, I could remember this day as something. I did something today nice, that I spoke to all of you. I spoke about this. We've been talking many of the sessions, but today is something. It has an importance of Independence Day. It's the 3rd year anniversary, and it is just a combination of everything. I really appreciate and I really want to congratulate CPAC for the 3rd year anniversary. And being Independence Day, as I said you, it's one more day of accomplishment, a day to cherish for me personally too, because it's an Independence Day and a dual celebration. First of all, I would like to take opportunity to thank Ms. Priscilla for inviting me on their big day, and Ms. Deepthi, who introduced me to Ms. Priscilla, and that's when I came to know about CPAC. And when I got introduced with Ms. Priscilla, and when I was talking with her, a lot of conversations that we both had, it was wonderful. Being a person, Ms. Priscilla is like, she's more involved in social well-being. We study, we learn, we study a social work master's and getting into everything. But this is something you get inspired by people. It's like mutual inspiration that we got. In fact, started a lot of beautiful activities that she could offer, services that she could offer, and excellent. I really appreciate, and I really want to be with CPAC in whatever aspects that I could be, and make a small change or anything if I could do. Thank you everyone for the opportunity, and I really happy and welcoming all of you to the session of mental well-being. So I really want the session to be kind of interactive, because then you listening to it, I doesn't either or a discussion madri irkatum. Let's just not be a kind of a casual talks that we have. So yes, what is mental well-being? Ellarkum theriyum mental well-being அப்படின்ற ஒரு விஷயம்னா என்ன, and எதனால mental well-being is very important. It is all about our thoughts, our feelings, and how we cope up with ups and downs of life. Yeah, mental well-being அப்படின்றது it's a very big topic. அதுல we are going to see ஒரு சின்ன மஸ்டர்ட் அளவுக்கு ஒரு சின்ன விஷயத்தை பார்க்க போறோம். That's ocean. எனக்குமே இன்னும் நிறைய தெரிஞ்சுக்கணும், நிறைய படிக்கணும் அதுல. பட் இன்னைக்கு நம்ம பார்க்க போறது emotional well-being அப்படின்ற ஒரு ஆஸ்பெக்ட வந்து we are going to touch upon emotional well-being, and what are the aspects of emotional well-being. Are you able to see my screen? Yes. So mental well-being, if you could move to the next slide, please. Yes. So as I was telling you, mental well-being is all about your thoughts, feelings, and how you cope up with ups and downs of life every day. Generally, if you see, there are 3 aspects in us. Meanwhile, you can just think while I talk also. There are 3 aspects. One is our thoughts, one is our feelings, and the third is behavior. And the triangular madri போட்டிங்கன்னா it connects, everything every day in life எல்லாமே வந்து நமக்கு தாட்ஸ்ல, ஃபீலிங்ஸ்ல and behaviorல. கரெக்ட்டா? Yes or no? Whatever we feel, that reflects in our thought. Whatever we think, that reflects in our behavior, right? And the behavior can be either your facial behavior or how you behave to that particular situation. கோவப்படுறதா இருக்கலாம், இல்ல இஷ்டப்படுறதா இருக்கலாம், இல்ல இரிட்டேட்டிங்கா இருக்கலாம், whatever it is. End of the day எல்லாமே எதுக்கு narrow down ஆகும் அப்படின்னா feelings, thoughts and behavior. So இந்த 3 நம்ம எப்படி கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ண போறோம் அப்படின்ற ஒரு ரொம்ப பெரிய ஆஸ்பெக்ட் தான் mental well-being. And if I just move on to the next slide, we are going to see today on emotional well-being. As I was telling you, feelings, thoughts and behavior, in the 3 விஷயமே it has an emotion connected to it. Yes. Now videoல I'm seeing some of you in the video. You can just respond to me. If not, unmuting yourself, at least by facial expressions I could just see. So emotional well-being அப்படின்னு வரும்போது all your thoughts, feelings and behaviors எல்லாமே அதுல include I know இல்லையா கண்டிப்பா emotional well-being is that again. And emotional well-being can be happy, can be sad. It's not that everyone has to be always happy. It's not possible இல்லையா. So it is like ஒரு mixture. நம்மளுக்கு கஷ்டமும் இருக்கும், happiness-உம் இருக்கும். பட் அந்த கஷ்டமா இருக்கும்போது how we handle ourselves is what we are going to see today. And கஷ்டப்படுறதுல nothing wrong. You can express your feelings, but how do you come out of it? How do you come out of the negative emotions? So negative emotions பத்தி தான் இன்னைக்கு ரொம்ப டீடைலா பார்த்துட்டு we are going to understand how we can come out of negative emotions. And what is emotional well-being? As you can see, it is the ability to practice stress management techniques, resilient. Yes. See, we have a huge loss, but still we are resilient. For the past 1.5 years in our country, we've been resilient. Yeah, this COVID is something which is just there, but we are resilient. We are just coming out of it. We are doing a lot of aspects, a lot of things to come out of that and generate the emotions that lead to good feelings. And how are we happy even in this kind of situation? We are good. Starting it was so pathetic and we didn't have ஒரு டாபிக்கே இருக்காது நம்மளுக்கு. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் வேவ் வந்தப்பெல்லாம் we didn't have a topic. Even second wave it was too much, too bad. யாரு ஃபேமிலிஸ்ல கேட்டாலும் there was a grief, bereavement, mourning, almost everyone. And that to me being in this industry, and every day it was 24/7 I used to interact with people without even sleeping, because that's the kind of ஒரு பீக் இருந்தது கிரீஃப்க்கு அந்த பர்டிகுலர் செகண்ட் வேவ்ல. So that really affects us a lot. But we are still resilient and we are coming out of that situation. And by God's grace, we will settle soon and everything has to be normal. So that's our prayers also. And what is all emotional well-being? இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் பெரிய aspectல பார்க்கறோம்னா, it is all the happiness, love and acceptance that we have ourselves. And ஒரு unpleasant-ஆன feelings கூட how we can improve or how we can change ourselves and be happy with all that. Let me just ask you, what do you think as what are we going to see today in our schedule is I was telling you about emotions, and we are going to see what are the types of emotion, and the types there are positive and negative emotions, human emotions that we have. What are the fear based, what are the love based, and how these emotions affect our health. That is something very important. How this emotion affect our health, இது நம்ம concentrate பண்ணாத ஒரு topic, because emotions display பண்ணுவோம், we display so much of emotions, we get into a lot of thoughts, we get into a lot of feelings, but still how it is going to affect us we don't know. We are going to just see that, not just in a brief, we are going to see and what is a path to an improved health, particularly because both your body, mind, everything should be peaceful, everything should be relaxed. அப்பதான் நம்ம என்ன பண்ணணும்னு நினைக்கிறோம், we have aspirations to do a lot of things. And finally we are going to end the session with a nice relaxation. So these are the broader things that I'm going to cover today. And what are basically emotions? When I talk about emotions, you can even chat with me if you feel the sort of disturbance. What are emotions? Emotions abina anyone can even unmute yourself and answer. Absolutely okay for it. What do you think as emotions are? Why are we getting emotional? An immediate reaction to something. Yes. Yes,
Sahityaa ma'am, let me start on that area. So emotions is equal to, which gives us the stress, right? The positive emotions and negative emotions are there. So definitely that leads to a stress, kind of stress, which makes the human being to pull down, with the other emotions, what you're talking about. So I think emotions plays a vital role according to me. I guess many people can give your inputs as well about emotions. Yeah.
Thank you, Nirmal, for starting. Anyone wants to share your thoughts on that?
Can I say something?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah, hi. I would say it's a reaction. It's an inner feeling reaction. There's something happened, and initially how our mind accepts and the way we react, whether we cry, laugh, or feel sad, I would say that's the emotion for me. That's how I feel.
Excellent. That's perfectly right. Anybody, you have different thoughts on emotion? Jacqueline, it's an expressions of our feelings. Emotions are different expressions of one person. Absolutely right. It is a private feeling and an intimate feeling that only you can experience. Not that all of you can experience the same feeling, because it is personally for you, and it relates to anything personally again for you. It can be observed also only by you, whether it's a positive emotion or a negative emotion, right? So for others, it may seem a happy or sad, but for you, it really means whether it's a kind of love based or fear based. All this comes into picture. And intense feeling directed at someone or something. Yes, will you all accept this? What are emotions? It's an intense feeling which is directed at someone or for something. Yes, we need to understand that strong point to understand emotions. And yes, there are 4 components of emotions which I really wanted to tell you. Because generally it's been like all of us use WhatsApp இல்லையா? எல்லாரும் நம்ம WhatsApp யூஸ் பண்றோம். இப்போ யாருமே WhatsApp யூஸ் பண்ணாத, from child to the eldest person, அவங்க எல்லாருமே they know to use WhatsApp now. Almost. அதுல என்ன நம்ம நிறைய யூஸ் பண்றோம்? You use a lot of emotions, right? When you're happy, use that heart or cute symbol or kiss பண்ற symbol. All these emotions. கோவமா இருந்தா அந்த angry face வரும். எல்லாமே how are we expressing? We are not ஒரு மெசேஜ் போட்டுட்டு வாட்ஸ்அப்ல கூட if you just உங்க வாட்ஸ்அப் மொபைல் எடுத்துட்டு just scroll and see, ஒரு மெசேஜ் போட்டுட்டு அதுக்கப்புறம் நீங்க ஏதாவது ஒரு சிம்பிள் போட்டிருப்பீங்க, either a smile symbol or a cute symbol or a love symbol or angry symbol or crying symbol, sad symbol. Why all these are all the emotions நம்ம மனசுல இருக்கிறது we are trying to express through emojis இல்லையா? All of you would connect with this, right? All of you would do this. All of us, in fact, all of us will do that definitely. And why is that coming within? Because we all have emotions and we all wanted to express our exact emotions. இப்போ வந்து நான் ஒரு விஷயத்துக்கு எனக்கு யாராவது சொல்றாங்கன்னா I'm feeling bad about it ன்னு சொல்லும்போது you're having a sad feeling because you are expressing to that person through words that I'm feeling sad for you too, right? And if you're happy, if you say I love you, நீங்க obviously you will put a kissy smiley. What does that mean? ஒரு love you போட்டு stop பண்ணலாம், but what does that emoji has an extra effect இருக்கு இல்லையா? Why is that extra effect needed? நம்மளுக்கும் ஹாப்பினஸா இருக்கும், பாக்குறவங்களுக்கும் ஹாப்பினஸா இருக்கும். இப்போ எனக்கு யாராவது ஜஸ்ட் ஒரு மெசேஜ் அனுப்பிச்சு விட்டுட்டா என்ன பக்கத்துல ஒரு சிம்பிள் இல்லையே, because are they not completely enjoying it அப்படின்னு தோணும். And when you upload something, when you have some achievements, don't you expect a clap from people? Don't you expect that emoji from people? They should at least give a thumbs up to you. They would give a thumbs up to you or give a clap to you. Why? Because we also expect that emotions from others. We also want to give, either way, express it. And there are a lot of expressions that we have. One is socially expressive. Number postures, the reactions, the verbal and non-verbal communications, facial expressions, all these are socially expressive. And feelings comes to either it is anger or joy. And bodily arousal varum namalku. Yeah. So bodyல நம்மளுக்கு என்ன சேஞ்சஸ் வரும் emotions வரப்ப? கோவமா இருந்தா என்ன பண்ணுவோம்? ரொம்ப கோவமா இருந்தா, அது நிறைய பேரண்ட்ஸ் would do that. கோவமா இருந்தா அடிக்கிறது, இல்ல சீரியஸா கோவமா ஃபேஸ் வச்சுக்கிறது, இஷ்டப்பட்டா சிரிக்கிறது, ஹக் பண்றது. These are all bodily changes that happens when we have emotions. And they should be in all these emotions. The very important aspect is sense of purpose. Correcta? Sense of purpose illama or emotion vanda adu valida? Definitely not, right? There should be a sense of purpose, and the sense of purpose could be either motivation or a decision or a evolution, right? So in the aspects is very important. And when I talk about categories of emotions, primary and secondary emotions in irukku. What is primary emotions? Can someone say, or what do you understand? I don't want detail theoretical avenda, but what do you think when you see this? Okay, there's something called primary and secondary. What is primary? Why even I'm talking about primary and secondary emotions here? Anyone has a thought about it?
I would think primary emotion is something what would be instant, immediately how we react. And then secondary emotion is like when we start thinking slightly deeper about it, maybe a day after, we just keep thinking that, okay, why did this happen? We try to, our mind keeps analyzing it. So I would put that under secondary emotions group. I don't know if I'm making it sensible.
Definitely, you are, Miss Rohini. Definitely, yes.
Thank you.
Because that is another perspective to look at. Definitely, the instant emotions are primary, and when you think it is secondary. I absolutely agree for what you said. Yes, primary reason for emotions are, there should be a core reason for which after that it's an after effects of your secondary emotions. The first instant emotion that you get is primary emotion, and based on that primary emotions, you get into the secondary emotions. The first is if you love a person, you love, but and the love oda vara adutha feelings irukku illaya, all that, how am I going to do this? In the lovelier you get, fear. You get a lot of other aspects of secondary emotions which is related to primary emotions. So if you can see in the slide, primary emotions are something which is triggered in a response to an event immediately, as Ms. Rohini has said. Can you imagine your life without love, joy, anger, sadness, surprise or fear? முடியுமா நம்மளால? இதெல்லாம் எனக்கு லைஃப்ல நடக்கவே இல்லை அப்படின்னு நம்ம நினைக்க முடியுமா? Can we? Definitely no. Lifeல we need to have all these primary emotions, and in the emotions it leads to something. It will lead us to a secondary emotions, because when you are anger, only the anger stays in place. But and the anger enna nadakka podu, that could relate to either a positive or a negative reaction again. So idellam paathaale ungalku enna theriyum? Love can lead to positive emotion, joy can lead to positive emotion, anger is a negative emotion, sadness is a negative emotion, surprise is a positive, fear is a negative. Appadina we label it, right? All of you would label it that way. But it's not true. Because இப்போ joy இல்ல கோவம் வருது, anger is a negative emotion, as we generally know. Okay, கோவப்படுறது தப்பு, okay fine. If anger is going to be a negative reaction, how will you change that to positive? How can you change that to positive? That is secondary emotions. Yes, can we move on to the next slide to see more about it? And சொல்லுவாங்க இல்லையா, அந்த பிரைமரி இமோஷன்ஸால ஏற்படக்கூடிய விளைவுகள், which means the outcome of your primary emotions are secondary emotions. We get passion. Now I just put in brackets also to even understand it more in Tamil for every one of you. Perarvam, in the sense you get inspired. When do you get inspired? ஒரு இன்ஸ்பிரேஷன் வரும், இல்ல ஒரு பேஷன், இது பண்ணியே ஆகணும், ஒரு நம்பிக்கை வர விஷயங்கள். All that when எப்போ வந்து, if you have a shame, I have to be resilient, let me do this அப்படின்ற ஒரு, you get that motivation, right? It is an actually negative emotion, but what is it converting into? It is converting into a positive emotion, right? அப்போதானே எனக்கு வரும், the trigger that I have in me is converting me into a person who I really want to be. So that is something positive. Yes. So in the situation based panna primary emotions or secondary emotion, it goes hand in hand, and the nervousness, disgust, kind of irritation that you have, and the optimism that you get, all these are the secondary emotions. And moving on, we will also see what are the variety of human emotions that we have. All of us would have two different phases in life. I smile, I cry, I have an irritation, I can even go mad. It's எப்படின்னா, நிறைய பேர், for my personal experience, நான் கோவப்பட்டா இல்ல வந்து ஏதாவது சப்போஸ் ஒரு இன்ஸ்டன்ட் இனிஷியல் ஆஃப் மை கரியர் டேஸ், நீயே ஒரு சைக்காலஜிஸ்ட், நீ கோவப்படலாமா? நீயே ஒரு இது இப்படி பேசலாமா? See, emotion is different and understanding the emotions are different. You need to throw out your emotion. It's not that being a psychologist I can resist myself. Being a psychologist, I completely, I can be one Shantamurthy, always smiling. No, not possible, yeah. எல்லாருக்கும் எல்லா இமோஷன்ஸும் இருக்குதோட. எனக்கு கோவம் தான் வரும். என் டாட்டர் வந்து ஏதாவது பண்ணா நான் வந்து லைக் oh nice sweet ன்னு பேச முடியாது. I'll hit her when she does something bad. It doesn't mean that I'm a bad being a parenting coach. I also know that I should not do it, but the emotions are different and your profession is different. When you link it together, you at least understand and you come out of it sooner. Avladhan thavara, it's not that I cannot express anything. It's not that I should be always like one textbook person, to be always like this. That's not possible also. I'm also a human being, end of the day. So positive emotions enna, negative emotions enna varumbodhu, feeling so or hopeful ah irukkiradhu, confident ah irukkiradhu, peaceful ah irukkiradhu, these are all positive emotions. And negative emotions are something, you get panicked, or unpleasant on a feeling. We should be so happy. When I'm talking to you and you talk to me, we should have a mutual pleasant feeling towards us. எனக்கு பார்த்தாலே பிடிக்கல, இவங்க என்ன இப்படி பேசுறாங்க அப்படின்னு யோசிச்சீங்கன்னா, you'll not even enjoy the session for 40 minutes. So the kind of connection that we develop, the kind of connection that we have, and the emotions that we show people, only then they'll be able to relate to us in any way. So if you could see that positive emotions la enna potrukena, it will lead for an emotionally happy and a satisfied result. All positive emotions will definitely yes sir. Father Peter, I could see Father Peter raising hands, so I thought I will just ask about it. Okay, so if you have any doubts in between, please chat la podunga. I am really happy to talk to you all, and as I said, interaction is something which I love so much. So I would expect all of you to just unmute yourself and talk. எப்பயாவது உங்களுக்கு பேசணும்னு நினைச்சதுன்னா, so I am really happy for that and I'm open to it. So yes, so ella positive emotions will lead us to an happy and a satisfied mind. But negative emotions varumbodhu enna agum? Negative emotions ala you even you feel bad about yourself first and the other person also. Because of someone, it is not always that someone has to give you a negative feeling. உங்களுக்கே உங்களை பத்தி யோசிச்சு நெகட்டிவ் ஃபீலிங்கும் வர சான்சஸ் இருக்கு இல்லையா? இட்ஸ் நாட் தட் அதர்ஸ் ஹேஸ் டு இன்வைட் தட். நீ இப்படி அப்படின்னு சொல்றதை விட நம்மளுக்கே ஏதாவது ஒன்று கரெக்டா நடக்கலன்னா what does a mind feel? Oh my god, why it is happening to me? எதனால எனக்கு இப்படி நடக்குது? ஒரு அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு நெகட்டிவிட்டிக்குள்ள போயிடும். and we lack in doing something at that particular. I'm not telling that you will be always lacking, but that on the particular or 5, 10, 15 minutes, what does it happen? We get so annoyed. Why this is happening? If something goes wrong, are we all in a position to accept it at that way? Definitely no. We will take some time for it. We are going to sit and think and see why did it go wrong. இதெல்லாம் secondary இல்ல, but first வந்து you get இந்த மாதிரி நடந்துருச்சே, all that frustration will be there in all of us, even me, right? So idhula I'm going to categorize even more deeper as fear based and love based. What is fear based? பயத்தினால என்ன வருது? நிறைய பேர் through in this என்னோட ப்ரொஃபஷன்லயும் நான் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் பண்ண ஒரு particular for the past 2 years, anxiety, anger, control இல்லாம இருக்கிறது, sadness, depression, this confusion, hurt, lonely, guilt, shame. Do you think இத தாண்டி வேற ஏதாவது எமோஷன்ஸ் இன்னும் இருக்குமா fear basedல? இதெல்லாம் எதனால வருது? யாரும் நம்மளுக்கு பண்ணல, நம்மளுக்கு பண்ணிக்கிற ஒரு விஷயம் தான் fear based emotions. Nobody is going to tell you that you are you have this, you are that அப்படின்னு சொல்ல மாட்டாங்க. பட் லைஃப்ல நம்மளுக்கு நடக்கக்கூடிய விஷயங்கள், what is that happening in our life, அந்த பேஸ்ல we get into these emotions, fear based emotions. And love based is again, when we talk love based, we have that happiness because whether a relationship or something good happening in our career or something positive, or our kids are so good, when you study well, when you get accomplishments one by one, ஒன்னு நம்ம முடிக்கிறோம், நம்மள தேடி இன்னொரு விஷயம் வருது. There are two types of, again, the positivity. என்னன்னா, you running for it, yes, you go and hit it and you get it, but அங்க இருந்து உங்களுக்கு வரும் இல்லையா, the kind of invitation you have from someone, that gives you a lot of happiness. நம்ம எதிர்பார்க்காமலேயே ஒரு விஷயம் நம்மளுக்கு கிடைக்குது அப்படின்னும் போது you feel so good about yourself. You'll feel so confident about yourself, right? You feel confident when someone is inviting you. Really, I feel very happy. Like personally, when CPAC invited me to speak on this day for this particular, I was so happy. That gives me a lot of confidence. I feel like, yeah, I should prepare well. I should talk all the aspects, whatever I have in mind. அப்படின்ற ஒரு happiness வரும், ஒரு joy வரும். You get related to the topic, you get related to your personal experience and try to do the best out of it. Yes, so that is the sort of positive emotions that I get. It's by having a compassion towards my profession, compassion for other people, compassion for self is very important. Because நீங்க அடுத்தவங்களுக்கு காட்டுறீங்களோ இல்லையோ compassion, you need to have the quality of compassion in you. Compassion அப்படின்னா என்னன்னா, நம்மளுக்கு நம்ம மேல ஒரு இஷ்டம் இருக்கணும். You need to love yourself first. Peter Father சொன்னாரு, you need to be the change for the change to happen. The same way you need to love yourself to love others. Yes, you need to love yourself. You need to be happy with what you have. You need to be satisfied with what you have. எல்லாத்த விட important, you need to have gratitude for what you have. Gratitude வந்து ஒரு ப்ராப்பரா ஃபாலோ பண்ணோம் அப்படின்னாலே it's a huge task, because definitely you will not go anywhere wrong. You know, if you follow gratitude and compassion for self, you will not go anywhere wrong, because the feeling, the gratitude has a lot of emotions connected to it. Gratitude has a lot of thoughts connected to it. Gratitude has a lot of behaviors connected to it. If you can interrelate all that to have a good gratitude for what you have, what you get, people around you, what you show, definitely you can lead a beautiful life. And yes, நம்ம பார்த்தோம் இல்லையா எமோஷன்ஸை பத்தி, பாசிட்டிவ் அண்ட் நெகட்டிவ் எமோஷன்ஸ். ஸோ அது ஒரு சின்ன ஸ்னாப்ஷாட் நான் போட்டிருக்கேன். If you need to, what do I do with these feelings? What do I do with these feelings? If you're sad, you will cry. Yes. If you're happy, if you're excited, you might laugh. What do you do? Sometimes, you know, நம்ம என்னென்னலாம் பண்ணுவோம் எமோஷன்ஸ்ல, we suppress the emotion also sometimes. Hold the emotion down. Try to escape it from the feelings. இதெல்லாம் நம்ம what we do with the feelings சொல்றேன், இதெல்லாம் பண்ணுவோம். And we also even transform the emotion. நம்மளோட கோவத்தை வேற யார் மேல, உன்னாலதான் அதெல்லாம் நடந்தது, you know, you are the reason for it, you know, we just, you know, transform the emotion or transform that complete point to someone else, saying that அவங்களுக்கு attention எல்லாம் அவங்களுக்கு கொடுத்துருவோம், you know, you are the reason for it. Put a label on that emotion. Yes, with the emotion and give it some attention, label it, அதுக்கப்புறம் it will go on, you know, that is one way. And there are somebody who can even reframe it. What is reframing again is, okay, நான் இதுல இருந்து இது கத்துக்கிட்டேன், நான் பார்க்கிறேன், what is it I'm getting out of it, you know, making that I learned something important over time. See, let us how we can, you know, make it useful. அப்படினும் யோசிப்பாங்க. So these are the ways generally people deal with their emotions. And yes, moving on, we are going to see what are the, we saw broadly about what are positive, what are negative emotions, what are fear-based and anger-based. Now, what are the factors affecting emotions? Factors affecting emotions, pathina, the first line e pathina, human body is the best gift God has given us. We need to take care of it. It's just not your body has to be fine. If your body is not good, you will not feel mentally happy. If you're mentally not happy, you cannot take care of your health. So physical health and mental health is equally important. Equally, there are no weighing in that. Equally, it's important. Healthy body is a healthy mind, and healthy mind is a healthy body, which we need to always have in mind. But if people are, we are just running, to you know, get our life or challenges. We are just running for our life. நம்ம என்ன எதுக்காக ஓடுறோம் தெரியாம நிறைய பேர் ஓடிட்டு இருக்கோம். You know, we are just running for a lot of things. It's like, if you see, we are just running for assets, money. You're just leaving all your time. We're running for money. There are many who see ஒரு வயசுக்கு அப்புறம் நான் வந்து இவ்வளோ கஷ்டப்பட்டேன், இப்போ நல்லா இருக்கணும்னு நினைக்கிறேன், பட் இப்போ ஐ டோன்ட் ஹேவ் தட் ப்ராப்பர் மைண்ட் ஆர் ப்ராப்பர் ஹெல்த் டு என்ஜாய் மை லைஃப். It's not that I'm not asking you to money ko or your aspirations ko poga vendaan sollala, but you need to also enjoy the moment. You need to also be in that moment, have that happiness, and then do it. You will feel more positive. If every after 40, it's like BP, sugar, it's all normal. We started accepting, okay, in the vice BP vandrum, sugar vandrum, it's okay. We started accepting the disease is also part of our lives. That's how mentalities have become. ஏதாவது நடந்ததுன்னா ஐயோ இந்த மாதிரி வந்துடுச்சு, அதுக்கு என்ன பண்ணலாம்னு இல்ல, ஓகே this happens, okay, ஏஜ் ஆயிடுச்சு வரும், அப்படிதான் யோசிக்கிறோம். And if your mental condition is disturbed, then everything will get disturbed. This is something alarming also. If your mental condition has to be equally good to have a proper physical health, and how your emotions affect your health. If you could see how these emotions affect our health, if you can just move on. So in the right context la podnona, negative emotions like anger, grief, sadness, jealousy are perfectly normal. It's not that you should not get it அப்படினு நான் சொல்ல வரல. It's perfectly normal. But long lasting or emotion இருக்கும்போது it can stop you enjoying life. It can stop you from being a person who you are. And as I was telling you, mind, thought, behavior, that is the basic mantra for emotional well-being. Okay, so your body responds to the way you think, you feel, and how you behave. And this is one type of mind and body connection that we need to develop, we need to act. When we are stressed or anxious or upset, your body will automatically tell that you're not good. Automatically you will feel the sort of tension within us. படபடபடன்னு ஆயிடும், அந்த பால்பிட்டேஷன் வந்துடும், அந்த டென்ஷன் வந்துடும், ஸ்ட்ரெஸ் வந்துடும், பசிக்காது நம்மளுக்கு. Have you ever நம்ம ஒரு நெகட்டிவ் எமோஷன்ல இருக்கும்போது you ask like வா சாப்பிடலாம் அப்படின்னு முடியுமா நம்மளால? No, we will not eat. And automatically stomach ulcer, because all this is something which is very stressful. And a death of a loved one, அந்த மாதிரி எல்லாம் we really saw that loved one என்றதை விட the people known to us for the past 1.5 years. There are many families who lost their it's a different story altogether again. The immediate loved ones, and adala, that's a very sad part which really happened in the second wave. Every other family, every other doorstep had a grief. யாரா தெரிஞ்ச யாரோ ஒருத்தர் அந்த ஃபேமிலியில செகண்ட் வேவ்ல வந்து they passed away. I had my own griefs. எனக்கு I lost my uncles, 2 uncles. That was very tough phase for me even to handle. But I need to move on. Move on doesn't mean that I forget about them and move on. You have them in your mind. It's not that you're not going to forget them. You have them in your mind, but still you need to learn how to go on with your other responsibilities also. And we're going to see what is the path to improved health. How can we come out, or how can we handle these emotions? There are many ways that you can improve your emotional health. Basically, health in சொல்லும்போது all of us has to definitely have a physical exercises இருக்கணும். These are all compulsory in ஆயிடுச்சு. Every day in your life, at least add a 5 minutes physical exercise to your body. Let that be a kind of walking for 10 minutes. So you cannot say that I don't have time, because over 24 hours can't we spend 15 minutes for ourselves to be more happy and healthy? Can't we do that? Definitely we should make it a point. If நம்மளுக்கு ஒரு மீட்டிங் இருக்கு, இல்ல we need to go for some important thing, don't we allocate time for it? If you have to eat, don't you allocate a time for it? If you have to sleep, you allocate time. இப்பெல்லாம் சாப்பிடுறதுக்கு தூங்குறதுக்கு கூட we are not allocating time. We allocate only for the important work that we have. But you need to even start allocating time. Have a proper schedules to yourself, where you follow a healthy schedule, which is a 15 minutes for yourself. Just for yourself, nothing. See, I know all women in particularly or men, we have a family, like kids are, they need to study, everything. Everyone has a busy life. Everyone has a busy life. I'm sure about it. But a 15 minutes for you, me time. Me time is very, very important. Could you cover something up? Yes, sure. I will, Jacqueline, actually. Yes. I will talk about a parent teen children relationship, and in the particular COVID time, அது எவ்வளோ ஜாஸ்தி ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா, ஸ்கூலுக்கு வந்து போகும்போது காலையில as a parents, mom will cook food and pack everything, dad will get do and drop, இல்ல moms அந்த மாதிரி they used to schedule their lifestyle. But work from home அப்படின்ற ஒரு ஆப்ஷனும் இருக்கு, and online education has become one key thing. For NK personally, if you see, my daughter doesn't sit for online classes. She's not interested at all. I could see a lot of parents also talking about it. They're not sitting. அது என்ன ஆகுதுன்னா parents kids become one more stress. ஒரு நெகட்டிவ் எமோஷன் அப்படின்றத விட ஒரு எக்ஸ்ட்ரா ஆடட் ஸ்ட்ரெஸ் இந்த பர்டிகுலர் கோவிட் டைம்ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் நாட் அட்டெண்டிங் ஆன்லைன் கிளாஸஸ். அண்ட் இது பாவம் நாட் ஓன்லி ஃபார் பேரண்ட்ஸ், even kids suffer a lot. They also feel so terrible about this. They also feel students and feel that I need to sit for online class. They don't have proper interaction, they don't have that connection. It's not only for adults who are missing their social relationships. At least we have that liberty of using the mobile phones frequently. But அவங்களுக்கு என்ன ஆயிடுச்சு, the adolescents and the students எல்லாம் என்ன ஆயிடுச்சு, they don't have the liberty of using mobile phones because as parents we feel that we don't want them to get addicted to mobile phones and have a social networking and all that. We have a restriction on that also. If you think in students aspect, it is again very, very difficult time even for them that they are going through. And ஒரு parent child relationship வந்து இந்த டைம்ல strong ஆகுறதை விட it's become more nagging மாதிரி ஆயிடுச்சு. Parents are like, study, you're wasting your time, and particularly 10th and 12th இருந்தாங்கன்னா போச்சு, அவ்வளவுதான். இங்க எக்ஸாம் வரப்போது படிக்கணும், all this 10th board exams you have, you need to study, you need to do all that, this அப்படின்னு பாதி டென்ஷன் parents are developing to the kids, and kids in turn getting stressed. So advice and சொல்றதை விட I would give a tip for yourself, tip for the parents and students are just plan your schedules. Plan your schedules in a way where you have your personal time, you have a me time for yourself, you have a study. It's not the 24 hours you're going to study, definitely no. You need to have a schedule yourself, prioritize what is important. Prioritize on the basis of, for everyone I would say, if you could prioritize your work in 2-3 different aspects prioritize panna, we don't get stressed. Neither we have a proper planned way of dealing with it. One is on the basis of important and urgent. List down what all can be important and what all can be urgent. That is one quadrant that you can work on. So you will mention your last minute emergencies. For children, it is like your last minute exams or your project guidelines, deadlines that you have. All that can be important and urgent. The second aspect is important and not urgent. This is where we need to be more concentrative, and in the window, if you could spend a lot of time and a lot of activities in important and not urgent, you will have a stress-free life. Parents as well as children, please try to follow this according to your aspects, because important and not urgent will give you a lot of planning. It is for your goals that you need to achieve. It is for the parents to see, okay, I am going in a correct direction. It can be anything. It is not only about studies, or it is not only our work. It is our emotions also. You can get connected in that. Okay, now ipo vandu odane import oru chinna example solnona, if I had to tell you, so at 12:30 lunch is important and urgent, but or 10 o'clock important and not urgent is lunch is important and not urgent at 10 o'clock. But if it's at 12:30, 1 o'clock, it comes as important and urgent. So if you plan at 10 o'clock unga lunch and the important and not urgent lunch neenga appo potingena, you have that space to know and give the time for yourself. Na romba simple lunch nu soliten, it's for anything that you can take your activities or in your day நீங்க என்ன பண்ணணும்னு நினைச்சாலும் you can mention, so that you will allocate a time for yourself. Definitely have a me time for yourself, and important and not urgent, so that you know that yes, I need to give some time. Subconscious mind la you have a feeling that yes, I need to have some time. And the third aspect is not important and urgent. நிறைய விஷயங்கள் நம்மளுக்கு not important urgentல வரும். எல்லாமே ஐயோ நான் உடனே இது பண்ணணுமே, உடனே இது செய்யணுமே, all that is not important and urgent. Finally you have something called not important and not urgent. Try to avoid that column totally. Try to spend as minimum as time possible in not important and urgent. If you could plan this 4 quadrants in your life, you will have a proper relationship, you will have a proper planning, you will have a proper scheduled way of, it's not a timetable that I'm asking you to follow. It's just that in the madri ellam panna, you will have that space to enjoy your life. You will have that space to do whatever you want to do in life. So this is the way of looking at things in a different perspective. I think I sort of touched upon Jacqueline Anthony's topic on this. I hope this was a kind of little clear to you. In case you need to have a detailed communication, we can definitely talk again going forward. And yes, இப்போ path to improved health, we were seeing express your feelings in appropriate ways and live a balanced life. Live a balanced life la நம்ம இப்ப பார்த்தோம் இல்லையா, the examples of important, not urgent, இதெல்லாம் it will come and live a balanced life. It's that you are giving equal importance to everything in life. It's not that you're just working, it's not that you're just spending you don't have to feel guilty about not being with your child also, because I see a lot of parents talking this way to me, saying in the particular duration la work from home pandadala I'm not able to spend time with children, I'm feeling guilty about it as a mother. But trust me, I could say you, if you have that feeling, okay, it's not that again all the time you will be working. இப்போ உங்களுக்கு அந்த மனசுல எனக்கு வந்து என்னோட குழந்தையோட இருக்க முடியல அப்படின்னு அந்த எப்போ the moment you think about it, just stop everything, go be with the child. I'm sure இப்போ அந்த டைம்ல if you go be with the child, it's not that you're going to be there for 1 hour 2 hour. உங்க மைண்டுக்கு you're just going there and showing some attentiveness. Go hug the child or kiss it. You'll feel really cool about it. Just try this, no? You'll feel really good about it. If you feel that I'm not able to spend time with my child, you go, just spend 2 to 5 minutes with them. You'll feel relaxed. You'll really feel relaxed, and then you can come back. You can go back to your work. அப்படி ஒண்ணு நம்மளுக்கு அர்ஜென்ட்டா ஒர்க்கு போறதில்ல, unless until it's a meeting. You are not going to, and the 5-10 minutes உங்களுக்கு கொடுக்கிறதுக்கு you should not hesitate. Yes, so if you feel any kind of emotion, just do it. Just let it go. So you will feel better. You will definitely feel better. And that is the way to have a balanced life. That's a way to have a balanced mind. So calm your mind and body by expressing your emotion. You can completely calm your mind by expressing the emotion. If you express, that's going to completely suppress. Illana, it will just keep piling, and what one point la idu or periya burst aidum. That is going to burst not for others, for you. You will feel bad about it. You will have a sort of tension about it. மத்தவங்க எப்படி ரியாக்ட் பண்றாங்களோ இல்லையோ உங்களுக்கு அது டிஸ்டர்பன்ஸா இருக்கும். Yes, so take care of yourself. You need to definitely take care of yourself. Nobody else can come and take care of us. It's only you who has to take care of yourself. Calm your mind and body. Develop resilience. I'm sure all of us are developing it in this point. Resilience is something, it has to come by doing it as a practice. It doesn't come in a second la vandra resilience. Your mind, it's just our mind who has to accept whatever happening in our life. Yes, Vinita, you raised your hand. You want to say something?
Yes, ma'am. Like I have a confusion about this.
Yes.
Just now you told me that, you told us that we need to express our emotions and that is considered to be healthy.
Yes.
But I'm really confused over here, ma'am, because if you see saints and monks and other people, they have complete mastery. I mean, they are almost in a neutral phase. They tell that if you know how to, I mean, it's like emotional kind of phase they have. So, which one is more correct, ma'am? If it's like to be to attain that monk state of mindness or to express it?
Yes, good question, Vinita. Express it is a healthy way, Vinita. If you have the numb state, that's not going to help you as a person. It may help others. You might not react. It may help others, but you inside as a person, you still feel bad about it. You still worry about it. You still feel bad for it. And it depends, Ilya. You cannot show your anger on everybody. It again depends on the place, situation, and all that. Or emotion and display பண்ணனும் அப்படினா what is can you be more specific to give a correct, I can give a straight answer if you be more specific about it, Vinita.
Like, ma'am, my confusion is like which one is like correct. Like, I find it these two, total two statements totally in contrast with each other, clashing with each other. Like when you see these spiritual kind of yogis and monks and all, they are like hardly in a neutral phase. Even if what you do, they just stay neutral. They don't have any sort of emotions. But on the other hand, we see people telling that if you are a normal, healthy human being, you have emotions and you need to express or vent it out. So I'm confused, ma'am. That's what. Which one is more correct?
Okay. So one more thing, Vinita, we are seeing a normal people, right? We deal with a lot of normal people, and they definitely have emotions. And coming to monks and the others that you say, either அவங்கெல்லாம் இந்த இமோஷன்ஸ் எல்லாம் ஃபீல் பண்ணிட்டு முடிச்சுட்டு அதுல இருந்து வர ஒரு மோட்டிவேஷன், நான் ஒரு கம்ப்ளீட்டா நான் இது ஆயிடுறேன் அப்படின்ற ஒரு ஆஸ்பெக்ட்ல போவாங்க தவிர, அவங்க அந்த மாதிரியே தே வுட் ஹவ் நாட், அந்த லைஃபே அவங்களுக்கு அப்படி இருந்திருக்காது. அந்த ப்ராசஸ்ல அந்த எமோஷன்ஸ் எல்லாம் லெட் அவுட் பண்ணி அதுல தே நோ குட் அண்ட் பேட், and then they attain that stage of that, and we are not going to deal with them always. We are going to deal with normal people around us. And on the stage போகணும் அப்படின்னா அது பேட்னு சொல்ல வரல, ராங்னு சொல்ல வரல. They are in that state of mind. To attain that state of mind, ஒரு நார்மல் ஹியூமன், ஒரு நார்மல் பர்சனா நம்ம அந்த ஸ்டேஜ் அட்டைன் பண்ண முடியாது. For that you need a lot of practice. You need a lot of meditation for that. Calming your mind for it. Completely direction பாத்தீங்கன்னா அந்த மாங்க்ஸ்க்கு எல்லாம் பார்த்தா they have a goal. If I have a goal that I have to do that, I will ignore whatever happens in my life. It's not that I'm going to be normal with everyone and still go ahead. They have a different path altogether. They have a different path altogether.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Is it, are you satisfied with the answer? Are you getting into what I was trying to say?
Okay. Like we are totally different into aspects of life.
Yes, those are different aspects. We cannot really compare exactly and analyze and come to a conclusion that this is right, this is wrong. அப்படின்ற conclusionக்கு நம்ம வரவே முடியாது. The path that we chose, if you really want to become a monk, அதுக்கு you need to go do a practice. Completely, a lot of meditation gives you a lot of calmness. So if a calmness is there, உங்களுக்கு emotion வந்தாலும் you will be calm always. That sort of stage has to come in your mind. அப்போதான் we will be able to talk about these aspects in a very detailed way. But generally பாத்தீங்கன்னா which is right அப்படின்னா expressing your emotions is right.
Okay, yes? Ma'am. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you, Vanita. And we were talking about improving our emotional health. So try to recognize your emotions. எதனால எனக்கு இது கோவம் வருது, understand why are you having it, because only unless you feel that I have to do this, இதனாலதான் எனக்கு அப்படின்னு நம்மளோட எமோஷன்ஸை நம்ம திங்க் பண்ணா அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணிக்கிட்டாதான் we will be able to come out of it. You need to understand why you have that emotion, and you need to even recognize your emotion properly. Okay, sorting out whether it's a cause of sadness or a cause of anxiety that you have or a sort of stress that you have, எப்படி இந்த லைஃப்ல நம்ம மேனேஜ் பண்றது அப்படின்ற ஒரு ஆஸ்பெக்ட் தான் நம்ம பார்க்க போறோம். லைக் அந்த எமோஷன்ஸ்ல we will be able to see. And ஒரு சின்ன டிப்ஸ் பாத்தீங்கன்னா, and particularly for the past 1.5 years we've been knowing poor emotional health can weaken our immune system. What is COVID என்ன, do we have vaccine and all that இப்போ வந்திருக்கு, but it is only immune system that is going to help us from COVID. Yes or no? All of you agree for that? We need to have a strong immune system. So எப்படி ஒரு strong immune system நம்மளுக்கு தேவையோ, emotional health நம்மளுக்கு சரியா இல்லைன்னா ஆட்டோமேட்டிக்கா immune system வந்து வீக் ஆயிடும். That's why, if you could see, there are psychologists and psychiatrists in this, like generally நம்மளுக்கு இருக்காங்க, எத்தனையோ வருஷமா இருக்காங்க. For the past 2 years, யார் நிறைய வந்து who came out? Many psychologists, counselors. Why? Because they are there to counsel. Why you have a lot of counseling centers which was available for free during COVID? I was also part of it. Why the government is spending time and energy in having counseling centers? Because they feel emotional health is very important. Poor emotional health can weaken your body's immune system, and that's why all of us would need a proper mental health. And mental health oda awareness பாத்தீங்கன்னா last 1.5 yearsல ரொம்ப ஜாஸ்தி ஆயிடுச்சு. Otherwise ரொம்ப டாபிக்ஸே இதுல இல்ல, unless until if someone really have a psychological problem they come. But COVIDல என்ன ஆயிடுச்சுன்னா mental health and this emotional health awareness has become more. Why? Because you need to be emotionally and mentally strong. அது இல்லைன்னா immune system வீக்கா போயிடும். பயம் இருக்கக்கூடாது. பயம் பட என்ன ஆகும்னா your immune system will be more weaker. And இப்போ நம்மளுக்கு திடீர்னு இந்த கோவிட் எல்லாம் இட் இஸ் பியூர்லி இம்யூன் சிஸ்டம் தான், வேற ஒண்ணுமே இல்லை. அது ப்ரூவும் ஆகல, ஒன்றும் இல்லை. தட் வேக்சினேஷன் இஸ் அகெயின் யோர் இம்யூன் பூஸ்டர்ஸ். எஸ், இட் இஸ் ஜஸ்ட் யோர் இம்யூன் பூஸ்டர்ஸ். இன்ஜெக்ஷன் நம்மளுக்கு கொடுக்குறாங்கன்னா இட் இஸ் ஜஸ்ட் an antibody mechanism which is working, and it is not something which goes and kills COVID virus. It is just your improvement or boosting your immune system. So whenever you feel stressed, anxious or upset, you need to think, is this an emotion? For what am I getting these emotions? And you should know the emotions and try to understand it and come out of it. And how do you even control your emotions? Selecting the situation. Okay, selecting the situation and changing the situation, changing what you believe and responding responsibly. These are the 4 important and effective ways. You can ask me how even I can do that. வந்து தியரட்டிக்கலா you're telling me about how can I even do that அப்படின்னு நினைச்சீங்கன்னா, you helping yourself consciously is emotional well-being. You get an emotion, you be in that emotion, throughout that emotion, but understand your emotion there. Understand your emotion. Don't just blow things out of proportion by going over time and again in your mind. That is important. Try to be reasonable for yourself. Accept the fact, the bad feelings that you have. It can be like occasionally unavoidable, but you should also think of the ways to make useful and feel better about it. How can you do that? Relax. Just relax. Divert your mind. Do a pleasant activities. If you are a person who reads a lot of books, just read. Go for a walk, or just pick up a phone and talk to your friend. Simple diversions that you can do to relax your mind. And even a hug will relax you. Your loved ones, just call them and just give them a hug. Or psychology, if you see, there's something called strokes. Strokes அப்படினா என்னன்னா, when you feel bad about something or some incident, you can really ask a person whom you trust and whom you think they will not judge me in any way. அவங்களுக்கு ஃபோன் பண்ணியோ இல்லை அவங்க உங்க கூட இருக்காங்க அப்படின்னா, என்னை பத்தி ஒரு 4 விஷயம் நல்லதா சொல்லேன். You can ask them, tell something good about me. Tell something good about me. They will definitely say that you're a sweet person, you're so good, you're so calm, and madri you have achieved so much. And madri sollumbodhu you will feel that positive energy within you. It's absolutely okay to get strokes, which means to ask about you to another person whom you trust. நம்ம யாரோ ஒருத்தர் கிட்ட போயிட்டு என்னை பத்தி சொல்லுங்க அப்படின்னா அது காமெடியா இருக்கும். பட் when you feel that you have a trustworthy person within yourself, and இல்ல உங்களுக்கே உங்களை யாரையுமே நான் நம்பல, எனக்கு நான் தான் அப்படின்னா, just go stand in front of him. That really wonders, that really gives a lot of happiness in us. Just போய் நின்னுட்டு, okay, what do I do, tell me good about yourself அப்படின்னும்போது, just try to work on your CV, like profile. Try to work on your profile. That gives a lot of happiness to you, because you know that you have achieved so much and everything you will put in writing. that gives a lot of happiness to us, positiveness in us. So that is the way of getting diverted. Vinita, you have a question?
No, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. And learn how you notice the grief, the loss, the anger, how it makes you feel, and which events triggers those feeling. அது அந்த வந்து event வந்து அந்த என்ன event வந்து என்னோட இந்த மாதிரி trigger ஆகுது, what is situations that I'm getting triggered like that. ஒரு pattern இருக்கும். When you feel some emotions, there should be a pattern. எனக்கு இந்த மாதிரி பண்ணா எனக்கு கோவம் வருது அப்படின்னா you will have a preparation in yourself. While taking decisions also, when you analyze any aspect of positive, anything that you do in life will have a positive and negative. சொல்ல மாட்டேன், ஒரு pros இருக்கும், cons இருக்கும் கண்டிப்பா. There'll be pros and cons for any situation in life, but how do you handle your cons? Either and the cons வந்து you accept it or you will work towards it to make it better. These are the two aspects of working towards cons. So அப்ப நீங்க என்ன டெசிஷன் எடுத்தாலும் your mind says that yes, இது நான் வந்து இந்த பாசிட்டிவ்க்கும் நான் ப்ரிப்பேர் ஆயிட்டேன், இது நடக்கும்னு எனக்கு தெரியுமே, I know this is going to happen, and அதுக்கு நான் என்ன பண்ணேன், ஒண்ணு அதை நான் இக்னோர் பண்ணுவேன், எனக்கு ஏன்னா இது தெரியும் இப்படி ஆகும், இது பண்ணா இது ஆகும்னு எனக்கு தெரியும் அப்படின்ற ஒரு அக்செப்டன்ஸ் இருக்கும். இல்லைன்னா இது பண்ணாம நடக்கிறதுக்கு நான் என்ன பண்ண முடியும்னு நீங்க யோசிப்பீங்க. These are the two options that you need to give for yourself. This will really help you to take any decision in life, and particularly it's a proven technique. நீங்க pros and cons list பண்ணி if you could do something, that will really help you a lot in making your mind pleasant again. End of it, whatever I speak, it goes to your mind, because it's only you that I'm targeting. உங்களுக்கு உங்களை பத்தி ஹாப்பியா வச்சுக்கிறதுக்கு these are the aspects. And coming to exercise, what is exercise அப்படின்னு பாத்தீங்கன்னா, it will really lowers your stress levels. ஒரு stress chemicals இருக்கும் நம்ம பாடியில, அதெல்லாம் வந்து கண்ட்ரோல் பண்ணும், பேலன்ஸ் பண்ணணும்னா you need to do an exercise. ஒண்ணுமே இல்ல, as I said, it is not a difficult task to give 10 to 15 minutes time for yourself. Please give that time to yourself. Make it a point from today that நான் டெஃபினட்டா என் ஹெல்த்துக்காக I will give a 15 minutes time, at least 10 minutes time. Yes, 10 minutes time நான் என் ஹெல்த்துக்கு நான் கொடுக்க போறேன் அப்படின்ற ஒரு ஸ்ட்ராங்கான மைண்ட் you need to have, and let go of the past. You can't be thinking about what had happened earlier. I'm not asking you to forget, but you need to let go. You just can't have everything in mind and feel bad about it always. And what are the exercises that you can do? Deep breathing and relaxation techniques that I will show you in the next coming 2 minutes relaxation, that I can tell you a small exercise that I can tell you for you to make yourself so feel good. The 10-second rule, all of us know this 10-second rule. நம்ம இப்ப பேசின விஷயங்கள் எல்லாமே யாருக்கும் தெரியாம இல்ல, எல்லாருக்கும் எல்லாமே தெரியும். பட் அத பத்தி பேசும்போது தான் we will sort of go and understand that we are doing this. அத பத்தி பேசலன்னா நம்மளுக்கு தெரியாது. இது எல்லா விஷயமும் நான் ஒண்ணுமே புதுசா சொல்லல, எல்லாருக்கும் தெரியும். பட் ஆனா பேசும்போது we rethink about it. ஆமால அப்படின்னு நினைக்கிறோம் இல்லையா? That's why we have this session. 10-second rule. Clarify in your mind, what are you doing? Blast your anger through exercise. Never reply. You know this definitely. ஒரு கோவமா இருக்கும்போது நம்ம பேசுறதோ டெசிஷன் எடுக்கிறதோ, it's not going to be right. You know your triggers. What is triggering you? There are persons who know your triggers and they keep triggering you. We need to have a check on it. Be respectful about yourself again. It's not for others I'm talking, that you need to be respectful. You give respect for yourself. Before that, if you have any questions, it's open. Please do ask me. Or in case you want some clarifications of whatever I spoke, or if you want to say that, this sort of whatever you feel like, if you want to speak, you can. Whether whatever I spoke made some sense to you, or some sort of or one takeaway, if you could take from this session, what can that be? What could that be? I would love to hear from you all.
Yeah. Hi, Dr. Sahityaa. It was an amazing session actually from you. I loved hearing everything, and it had so much of clarity about every aspect what you said. The takeaway I'm going to pick up the point for myself is, putting ourselves first as a priority, like you said, loving ourselves is a good way of looking at things, and that way we don't have expectations, and we start accepting with what we have. So that's what I gathered, like in my summary I'm saying that. And I really loved it. Amazing, very well spoken, and it's hit so well. And yeah, they are in my ears now, all whatever you spoke, they're still ringing in my ears. Amazing, well done, thank you so much.
Thank you. So glad to hear that from you, Mr. Rohini. Thank you for that.
Thank you so much.
Any others who would want to ask any questions, or what was your take? If you don't have any questions, I want to ask, what was your takeaway?
Hello, Dr. Sahityaa.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have a question. If someone goes out of their mental balance due to some sudden incident or something else, what should we do immediately to bring them calm or normal position? Some few tips, what we should talk, how to bring them down.
Make them feel positive first, sir. Recognize their emotion. Let them throw their emotions out. Understand their emotion and make them feel positive about themselves. You don't have to ஒரு பொய்யாவோ இல்ல ஃபேக்காவோ, இட்ஸ் ஓகே, ஒன்றும் நடந்துராது. There's something called பாசிட்டிவ்லயே பாத்தீங்கன்னா, நம்ம டாக்ஸிக் பாசிட்டிவிட்டி யாருக்கும் கொடுக்க வேண்டாம். You can talk about the facts. Let's not give toxic positivity to anyone. Even that harms people. So if they are out of control, recognize their emotions, let them deal with it. Just give them a lot of positivity, saying good things about them. See, நீ இதெல்லாம் பண்ணிருக்க, இது மீறியும் இந்த மாதிரி உனக்கு நடந்திருக்கா. Empathy காட்டுங்க. Don't show sympathy to anyone.
Yeah.
Be empathetic. Just show empathy. And just say whatever அவங்க என்ன சொல்றாங்களோ அதை நீங்க ரிப்பீட் பண்ணா கூட, that's okay, absolutely fine. Show some empathy. அவ்வளவுதான்.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any others? What was your takeaway? We have 36 others in the session, so what was your takeaway? Any questions? You're welcome. Ilana, what was your one word that you could take away from today's session? You can please mention in the chat box also. I would request or appreciate someone who talks and appreciate someone who can chat and give your thoughts about it.
All right. Okay. Lawrence this side.
Yes, Lawrence.
All right. Yeah. So there is one takeaway for myself. What you said is emotion is good, right? Now, so you should not suppress the emotion. The emotion has to be expressed. And a couple of tools which you have demonstrated would also help us to release the emotion in a very controlled manner. So that's a sounding takeaway from my side. And in fact, Vinita also apprised about the monks' approach, right? How they are dealing with the emotion. See, as a matter of fact, monks doesn't have girlfriends. Monks doesn't have. They are not. Right. No, so they are not supposed to marry.
Yeah.
They live in. They basically practice religion.
They have a path. They have a chosen path.
Absolutely. So the path is completely different. Mostly they live alone, or they live in an organized, community, in order to devote themselves in full time to religious life. So the major thing is they don't get married, and they don't have a house in loan, or they don't pay any EMI for car.
I can understand all your, you are really expressing yourself more, in fact, seriously. You are letting out your emotions now, Lawrence.
All right. See, absolutely.
Lawrence sir is speaking on behalf of all the youngsters who got married and they are surviving.
I could sense.
so considerably, so we in fact we prevail more in most of the cases, so we come under a lot of a grinding experience altogether, and of course, so the techniques are something very, very important in dealing with all the emotions, which would have its own repercussion if you don't control over it. And we live in a very materialistic society. We need people, and we need friends, and we have to manage our emotions and other people's emotion also. So this is very thoughtful, and the messages are well copied and duly noted. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lawrence, for that so detailed expression. Actually, thank you so much.
Yeah, I request everyone to be on mute. Those who have questions, please unmute yourself so that everyone can hear it very well. Shall we go for one more question from anyone? To Sahityaa, ma'am? Yeah.
Yeah,
I think,
sure. I have time.
I think we have addressed all the questions in the chat box already, right? We already covered
Yes,
up.
I saw that and
Yeah.
I replied to it. Livia has mentioned
Yeah.
Emotional wellness plays a key role in building our immune system. True. This is my key takeaway. Yeah, true. Thank you.
Yeah. So from my standpoint, Sahityaa ma'am, what I have take away from my end is the secondary emotions, which many people think is a least aspect. They are not giving importance on the secondary emotions. Array, it's just a secondary emotions that will not kill us, that will not do anything, but indirectly, it's putting a lot of pressure on all of our head, and it's eating us. Okay, that I understood in today's session from you. Especially, I think we have to give importance to the secondary emotions. I think many of us miss that to do in the life, right? So it's a very good point, Sahityaa ma'am. And anybody else want to add up or want to have any questions? We can go for one more question. Are we good? I think, yeah, Elil has given, thanks for the wonderful session. I like the concept of priority of work. Okay, great.
Thanks, Erik.
Thank you, Elil. Okay, so thank you, Sahityaa ma'am. Actually, it was a wonderful, wonderful time. Actually, to be frank, you related all the things with the real-time scenario, where we people are, running our life in this COVID-19 pandemic time. A lot of pressure, a lot of, our conscious mind and subconscious mind. Everything is in, it was in pressure. So this session has made everyone's life a small change. That has bring to them, and it's a great success for us. Thanks for your valuable time, Sahityaa man. Once
Thanks.
again, a big round of applause. Please unmute yourself and just show your, gratitude in terms of your applause.
Thank you all so much. Thank you, Lawrence. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, man.